Sometimes life has a way of bringing you back to places you thought you had already left. A courtroom, a hospital room, an empty house, a broken relationship, a familiar fear. This week, I walked out of a courtroom feeling like I was standing at ground zero all over again. But the longer I thought about it, the more I realized I wasn't.
This is the story of my dad. I watched him fall, and I watched him fight his way back through the fire. Not for the fame, not for attention, for his family, for his music, for the life he rebuilt. Still sober, still loud, still standing. Welcome to Louder Than My Demons. Season 2 begins now.
I smell your blood so sweet. Welcome back to Louder Than My Demons. I'm Josie. This isn't one of our regular episodes. It's a war journal. Just a conversation, just an update to where we are. A chance to capture where I am right now. Last week, I went to court expecting one chapter of my life to end. Instead, another one began. I wrote a blog explaining what happened in court, so I'm not going to spend this episode reading it to you. Go to louderthanmydemons.com to find that. Instead, I want to talk about something much bigger, because I think every one of us eventually reaches a moment where life makes us ask a simple question. Am I really back where I started? Now, when I walked out of court on that Monday, I honestly felt like I was standing at ground zero again. And maybe you felt that way too. Maybe it wasn't a courtroom. Maybe it was a divorce. Maybe it was losing your job or your car. Maybe it was a relapse. Maybe it was just a phone call that you never wanted or expected to receive. Life has a way of putting us back in places that look painfully familiar. And when it does, our first thought is usually, here we go again. That's exactly where my mind went when I walked out of there. 18 months. And here I was, once again, facing uncertainty, waiting, not knowing exactly what comes next. The circumstances look so much like they did a year and a half ago that for a while, I convinced myself I was right back where I started. But somewhere on the drive home, something changed. I started asking myself a different question, a different set of questions. Was I really back at ground zero? Or did it just look and feel like ground zero? Because ground zero wasn't a courtroom. Ground zero wasn't a hearing. Ground zero was not a legal case. Ground zero was the day my entire life came crashing down. Ground zero was fear without direction. Ground zero was uncertainty without a plan. Ground zero was waking up wondering, how am I going to survive the day? And that's not where I am today. Today, I have 18 months of sobriety, 18 months of recovery, 18 months of therapy, meetings, prayer, hard conversations, growth. I have 18 months of writing songs that mean something, 18 months without an argument with anybody. I have 18 months of building louder than my demons. I have 18 months of trying to be a better father, a better friend, a better man. I have 18 months without an argument. I'm going to say that again. The circumstances may have looked familiar that day, but the man standing in them, he wasn't the same. And that realization changed everything for me. Now, don't misunderstand me. Don't get me wrong. Life isn't magically fixed. I'm still rebuilding. I'm living in a friend's basement. I'm working multiple jobs. I'm trying to improve my finances. I'm trying to get stronger physically. I'm still putting one foot in front of the other. Baby steps across the floor, doctor. The road isn't easy, but that's the point. Recovery never promised an easy road. It promised that I wouldn't have to walk it the same way I used to. The mission hasn't changed. I still need to stay sober. I still need to take care of my health. I still need to write. I still need to serve. I still need to become the man I believe God is calling me to become. The mission hasn't changed. The road has. And maybe that's true for you too. Maybe life has you standing somewhere that feels painfully familiar. And maybe in the past, you've made mistakes when you were there. Maybe you're convinced you've lost all your progress. Maybe you think you've gone backwards. Before you believe that, ask yourself one question. Have your circumstances repeated themselves? Or have you? Because those aren't always the same thing. Now, I don't know what happens next. I know there will be another hearing. There may be a trial. There may be more waiting. Only time will answer those questions. But this week, it gave me something I wasn't expecting: perspective. Because 18 months ago, I was just trying to survive. Today, I'm trying to rebuild. And those are two vastly different things. So if life has you convinced you're back at ground zero, take another look. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're simply standing in a familiar place, but with a stronger foundation beneath your feet. Recovery doesn't mean your life never falls apart. Recovery means you don't fall apart every time your life does. That's the lesson I'm carrying with me into whatever comes next. Remember, we recover loud because our demons never stop whispering. I'm Josie, and this has been a special Louder Than My Demons. Hey, Unbroken, this is Josie. I want to thank you for listening to episode 18.5, my special episode, Ground Zero. Before we go, I want to give you a quick update on what's next for Louder Than My Demons. As many of you know, the events of this week have changed the direction of my own journey. Because of that, the 3-part series I had planned, The Lie I Lived, The Lie I Told, and The Life I Lead, is going to be delayed once again. That story deserves to be told the right way because it's only going to be told once. And right now, it's still being written. If you'd like to better understand where things stand legally and personally, I encourage you to read my latest blog, 18 Months In, and Here We Are at Ground Zero. You'll find it on the Louder Than My Demons website. It explains what happened in court, why things change, and where the case stands today. We'll be back on Friday, July 3rd with episode 19, The Humbling Season, Starting Over, where we'll begin talking about what it really means to start over when life doesn't go according to plan. And then on July 10th, look for a brand new Demon Cuts episode as we dive into Velvet Revolver's Contraband, one of my favorite rock albums, and a record with more to say about addiction, survival, and second chances than most people realize. Until then, stay strong, stay honest, keep fighting, and remember, we recover loud, louder than our demons.